today with Lisa Kofakis of Silver Creek Springs at the Real Herb Market, and I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek into the wonderful herbal world that awaits you at Silver Creek Springs. Hey, Lisa.
Hi, thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Lisa, and my apothecary is called Silver Creek Springs. I am living on a small rural property in western Wisconsin, and my apothecary is an on-farm apothecary. So here I grow as many of the plants as I can to use in my skincare products. I process everything here. Um, I do everything right on site. I package, I mail out right from here. So it's a really great space for me because everything is kind of all consuming, and the plants that we have in our area are just wonderful. And I base most of my work on skincare and skin ailments. Um, I got into herbalism initially because, like a lot of herbalists, seeking some healing for myself that I couldn't find through Western medicine. So I've had some health issues over the years through the industry that I worked in prior to becoming an herbalist. And then also I was exposed to some toxic water when I was in my early 20s. So kind of really getting into detoxification for myself was really what prompted me to start to go into training and get into school to become an herbalist, because that part, is kind of hard to find, especially in a rural area. Finding holistic healers and naturopaths, I had to really seek it out. So the more I did that, the more I realized it was a passion of mine that I wanted to pursue, and that's what kind of brought me down the path into my own journey into herbalism. um, as far as my products that I make, I'm coming out of an industry where I have been a tattoo artist for about 30 years, since 1991. And during that time, the aftercare for tattooing has been, everybody kind of has their own idea what the best care is. And I recommended some different things. And over time, I realized as I got into herbalism that I could create a product that would be really specific for my clientele to heal their tattoos. So that was probably my first product that I made that brought me into making different skincare products with plants. And so now I don't tattoo anymore because I'm focused on being an herbalist, but I still own the studio, and all of our customers get a sample of my aftercare balm that contains plants that I grow right here on the property. And then from there, I kind of started to make all sorts of different things. I make different medicinal oils, jewel weed oil, a bruising oil. I make a great oil made out of prickly ash, which is all over our area. And most people in our area do not like prickly ash because it's very invasive. I love it. It's one of my favorite plants because prickly ash is so wonderful for so many things, topically and internally. So I kind of started on the skincare path because of my interest in how to heal a tattoo. And that just kind of blossomed into, people started coming to me and they have different rashes, or they have, there's all sorts of things with skin irritations, eczema and bug bites. And, there's just so many that I just started researching and using my training and learning all of these different things. And then I started to sell it. And that's how I ended up here.
That is so cool. Can you share with us a little bit about maybe a couple of the products that you have?
Sure. I have a couple right here. So I do make a prickly ash oil. It's called Circulate and Protect. And prickly ash, like I said, was one of my favorites because it really helps your circulation. And if you use it topically with my oil, I live in Wisconsin and my hands and feet are cold all the time. And that tells me that maybe my circulation isn't great. So I love to put it on my hands and feet to help warm up my limbs. And also it's really good for arthritis. It really helps ease that pain. It's an anti-inflammatory. So that's one of my products. I also make another oil made out of jewelweed, which is another great plant that grows all over Wisconsin. It looks like a little tiny snapdragon, and it is really good for itchy skin. So I make my itchy witchy herbal oil. And that too, same thing. It's a great oil for poison ivy. It's really good for anything itchy, bug bites, rashes. It's great for kids because sometimes they can't leave that skin alone if something is itching. So you put a little bit of that on, it eases that, it calms it down, cools it off a little bit. It's great. And jewelweed grows everywhere here, and I have just tons of it around my chicken coop. And so I harvest it every late July. I also make an all-purpose herbal salve and a black drawing salve, which is probably my biggest seller. So I'll hold that up for you. So it's black because it's got activated charcoal in it, but the main plant that I like to use in this is plantain. And plantain has this great property, see if I can hold it up so you can see it, has a great property of drawing things out. So I actually have a Band-Aid on my thumb right now because I got a little rose thorn in my thumb yesterday as I was doing some spring cleanup, and I can't see it well enough to get it out. I don't want to dig at it because it hurt. So I put a little bit of the black drawing salve on it, put a Band-Aid on it, usually 24 hours, and I wash it off, and that thorn will probably be either close enough for me to pull it right out or out of my skin already. So it's a really nice non-invasive way to get out stingers, slivers, glass shards, you name it. It even, it helps too with inflammation. It works on bites and stings, helps draw that poison out too. So that's one of my really favorite products that I make. And I grow the comfrey and the plantain I wild harvest because it's everywhere here too. So there's a couple of my products that I have. And then I have a couple, I have a calendula salve, which is really good for wounds and diaper rash. I have a cold and flu chest balm that I like to put on my chest and the bottom of my feet when I catch a cold or the flu. I have the tattoo balm, like I said, and I make a cycling salve, which is an anti-chafing salve for use for any really active people that are hiking or cyclists. If you're, my husband's a huge cyclist and he rides many hours in the seat. So having something that he can put on his bum to help for anti-chafing or your inner thighs, it will save your ride or your hike, or if you're a horseback rider. And it has tea tree in it also, which is really nice as a antifungal. So it kind of helps with, I use it on my feet so I don't get athlete's foot too. So it's always a good choice. So those are a couple of my products. And I also make moisturizers and a lip balm, and you'll be able to see all of that in my Real Herb Market store. So when you purchase from me, one thing that I definitely think is unique is that it's just me. From start to finish, I am the grower, the harvester. I produce everything, I make it all, and I am very open to anyone contacting me with questions. And if I don't have a product that you're looking for and you've got some issue that you really need some help with, I have an open door. I do consultations. Even if you're asking which product is going to be best for me, you definitely reach out and let me know, because I would love to help you alongside of making the products. I'm a community herbalist, so it's really important for me to share as much knowledge as I can about the plants and maybe what's going to be the best choice for you as a consumer that would like to pursue healing more naturally and not have to rely on something at the pharmacy or just on a shelf where you don't really know exactly if that's the right choice for you. So I'm very willing to talk to everybody about my process and what my recommendations are for you. And you can always come and visit too. Silver Creek Springs is always open for a visit. So my small apothecary is here. I have hours or by appointment, and most people don't live in my area because it's a very small rural area. But if you're passing through and you want to check me out or want to just give me a call on the phone and talk a little bit, I'm always here.
I love it. And I'm so thrilled to have you here at the Real Herb Market.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your knowledge is something that is like known. People know it. And I've got someone who Tracy wanted to share with you a little bit about that.
Oh, great.
Tracy said, Lisa is passionate and dedicated to herbal medicine. She has a deep understanding and connection to the plants, and she uses, or to the plants she uses by growing or harvesting what she can herself.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also had Dr. Kelly Seth. She wanted to share her experience. She said, excuse me, I apologize.
That's
She
okay.
said,
not easy.
Lisa Kofakis of Silver Creek Springs is not only a masterful herbalist, but incredibly bright and savvy in knowing what my patients need to soothe their woes, aches, and troubles.
Oh,
I mean,
wonderful.
That's high praise, right?
Yeah. That, and every time I get one of my customers come back with me and give me feedback on the products and what they used it for and how it worked for them, that is really why I do this. I want so much to be able to help people with their ailments and to do it in a way that it's an old way, that it's the ways that I don't want to be forgotten. So along with all of my other herbalists and homeopathic healer friends out there, I think we all share that passion for being able to, use what's available to us from this earth and give back to the earth too, as far as being good stewards and protecting it and being able to bring those, our people to the plants and have that understanding be there for everyone.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean,
Thank
thank you
you.
for so much for what you do, but also for taking the time with us here today to share some of your wisdom.
Well, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much, Candace. And thank you, everybody, for taking the time to get to know me a little bit.
So all of you, I want you to pop over to Silver Creek Springs at the Real Herb Market to get your hands on some of Lisa's handcrafted botanicals from Silver Creek Springs today.
Yay. Thank you.